Why is it so easy to be negative and so hard to stay positive? That question has lived in your mind, hasn't it? You try to stay strong. You tell yourself to think better, to feel better. But somehow, doubt sneaks in. Worry takes over. And the negative thoughts? They feel louder than your own voice. But here's the truth. No one really tells you. You're not weak. Your mind has just been trained the wrong way. Understanding the trap. Let's stop pretending. Let's talk honestly. You weren't born negative. You learned it. From people around you. From the pain you've been through. From the voice in your head that said, "Don't get your hopes up. Life is hard. People don't change. Success is for them, not for you." Sound familiar? It's not your fault. The human brain is wired for survival, not happiness. It's built to scan for threats, to focus on what could go wrong. It believes it's protecting you, but really, it's limiting you. That's why positivity feels fake at first. It doesn't match the mental programming you've been repeating for years. Why it feels like you're always falling backwards. You start your day hopeful. You say, "Today, I'll think positive." And maybe for a few hours, you do. But then, one small thing goes wrong. A message you didn't get. A result that disappointed you. A memory that hits out of nowhere. And just like that, the voice returns. "See? I knew it wouldn't work. Why even try? I'm tired of pretending." You feel like you're always fighting uphill, like the world is pushing against your happiness. But here's what's really happening. Your brain isn't trying to hurt you. It's just trying to keep you safe, even if that safe is keeping you stuck. The real reason positivity feels weak. Let's be real for a moment. When people talk about positivity, it can sound fake, like empty smiles, like ignoring problems. But real positivity is not weakness. It's not fake smiles. It's not denial. Real positivity is power. It's staring pain in the face and still choosing to move forward. It's falling apart and deciding to rebuild. It's hearing the negative voice and choosing not to believe it. And here's the catch. That kind of strength, it takes training, it takes intention, it takes unlearning the habit of self-doubt. Everyone has a war inside. Think about this. The person who looks confident, they have fears. The one who's always positive, they've seen darkness. Everyone, yes, everyone, has a war going on inside. You're not alone. You're not broken. You're just in the middle of rewiring your mind. And rewiring takes time. It's messy. It's uncomfortable. But it's worth it. Because once you see it, once you understand what's happening in your mind, you can change it. The turning point. So here's where things shift. Every time you choose a better thought, even if it feels small, you're teaching your brain a new way to live. Every time you pause before reacting, you're building power. Every time you challenge the thought that says, "I'm not enough," you weaken its grip. This is the process. It's not about being perfect. It's about showing up every day, even when your mind whispers lies, especially then. Leave them wanting more. So now you know. You're not failing because you can't stay positive. You're struggling because no one ever taught you how to think. But that changes now. And in the next section, I'll show you the mental pattern that's shaping your entire life, without you realizing it. It's simple, it's silent, and it's stealing your future. Are you ready to take your power back? You don't become what you want. You become what you repeat. Let that sink in. It's not your dreams that shape your life. It's your patterns, your habits, your daily thoughts. That's what decides your future. What you tell yourself becomes you. Every single day you're telling yourself a story. Maybe you don't realize it, but it's happening. I'm tired. I'm unlucky. I'm just not good at this. People like me don't succeed. It's always something. Sound familiar? Now here's the shocking part. Your brain doesn't argue with you. It listens. And then it builds your life around what it hears most. If you repeat negativity, you start to feel it. And when you feel it long enough, you start to believe it. And once you believe it, it becomes your reality, the silent loop that shapes everything. Let's break down the invisible loop most people live in. Thought, emotion, action, result, belief, thought. It starts with one small thought. I'm not confident. That creates an emotion, nervousness, insecurity. Then you act based on that emotion. You stay quiet. You avoid the challenge. And the result? You miss the opportunity. You shrink again. Now your belief gets stronger. See? I told you I'm not confident. And the loop repeats over and over and over until one day that thought becomes your truth. But here's the good news. You can interrupt the loop. Repetition builds identity. Think of any skill you've ever learned: riding a bike, reading, talking, even walking. You didn't believe you could at first, but you repeated the motion, and repetition created confidence. Confidence became belief, and now it's part of who you are. The same rule applies to your mindset. You don't need to feel positive all the time, but you need to train positive repetition into your thoughts. It starts small. One better thought a day, one better word when you talk to yourself, one decision that says, I'm not quitting this time. That's how identity changes, one tiny repetition at a time. The brain believes what it hears. Your brain is powerful, but it's also lazy. It doesn't think in terms of truth. It thinks in terms of repetition. If it hears, I'm not good enough every day, it believes that, not because it's true, but because it's familiar. That's why negative people get stuck, not because they want to be negative, but because they've repeated it too much. And the fix isn't overnight positivity. It's intentional repetition. Say the better thought. Even if it feels weird at first, repeat, I'm growing. I'm learning. I'm stronger than yesterday. I can figure it out. It's not magic. It's mental training. Break the pattern or repeat the past. Here's the hard truth. If you don't change your pattern, you repeat your past. Every day you're either building your future or rehearsing your limitations. You get to decide which thoughts get repeated and which ones get replaced. So, ask yourself, what do I keep telling myself? What's the loop that keeps me small? And what's the new thought I'll start repeating today? That decision alone can change your direction. So remember this. Your thoughts are not just passing clouds. They're instructions to your brain. They build the identity you live with, and that identity decides how your life feels. You don't become what you say once. You become what you say often. And in the next section, we'll go even deeper. Because the voice in your head, it isn't always yours. It's often a mix of what others said to you and what pain taught you to believe. It's time to rewrite that voice and finally make it your own. What do you say to yourself when no one else is listening? That question might seem small, but it holds the key to your mindset and your future. Right now, your mind is constantly talking, and whether you realize it or not, it's shaping how you feel, how you act, and what you believe is possible. This is your self-talk, and it's either building you up or tearing you down. Let me ask you, if your thoughts were a person following you around all day, would you call that person your friend or your enemy? Most people, without knowing, are bullying themselves every day. They say things like, I'm not good enough. I'll never figure this out. Why even try? I always fail. That voice becomes so normal, they stop noticing how damaging it is. But here's the truth. You will never become who you want to be if your mind keeps telling you who you used to be. Let's break that pattern right now. Change starts with awareness. Start by paying attention to your thoughts. Notice what your inner voice says when you wake up, when something goes wrong, when you're standing in front of a mirror. Are you encouraging yourself or attacking yourself? This awareness is powerful because once you catch the voice, you can change it. Here's a simple trick. Whenever you hear yourself thinking something negative, talk back. Replace, I'm not good enough with, I'm learning and I'm growing. Replace, I always fail with, every mistake brings me closer to success. It might feel fake at first, but you're not lying to yourself. You're choosing to believe in your growth. You're choosing to speak life, not defeat. Talk to yourself like you would to someone you love. Would you ever tell your best friend they're worthless? That they'll never make it? Of course not. Then why speak that way to yourself? When you begin to show yourself the same kindness, the same belief, the same support, your energy changes. You start to walk different. You start to think different. You feel stronger, lighter, more alive. Positivity doesn't begin outside. It starts with the conversation in your own mind. That's what separates people who move forward from people who stay stuck. Not talent, not money, but the voice they choose to believe. Your mind believes what you tell it. Your brain doesn't care if it's true or false. It believes what you repeat. If you say, I'm terrible at this, enough times, your mind makes it your truth. But if you start telling yourself, I can figure this out, I'm capable, I'm becoming better every day, Your mind listens. It begins to build new beliefs, and from those beliefs come new actions. From new actions come new results, and from those results comes confidence, not because someone gave it to you, but because you earned it through your own words. This isn't fake positivity. Now, maybe you're thinking, but what if I don't feel confident? What if I don't believe I can do it? That's okay. That's normal. The goal isn't to lie to yourself. It's to lead yourself. You're not pretending everything's perfect. You're choosing to focus on what's possible. That's real power. That's real growth. Because the moment you change your self-talk, you start to become someone new. A daily mental habit that works. Here's something you can start today. Each morning, say 3 positive things about yourself, out loud. I'm capable. I'm improving. I can handle what comes my way. Say them again at night. This is not silly. This is science. What you repeat, you believe. And what you believe, you become. Every time you speak life over yourself, you rewrite the script. And one day, without even noticing it, you'll realize you no longer doubt yourself like you used to. You'll be walking in the identity of the person you used to only imagine. Closing. Thought. Your words shape your world. If you want to be positive, speak positive. If you want to become who you dream of being, speak like that version of you already exists. Because here's the truth. They do. They're inside you right now, waiting for you to believe. And it all starts with the words you say when nobody's listening. Have you ever felt like you're doing everything right, but nothing is changing? You read the books, you watch the motivational videos, you try to stay positive, but your life still looks the same. Here's something that might surprise you. Massive success doesn't come from massive changes all at once. It comes from small shifts, tiny changes, done every day. Yes, small shifts. The little things that seem so simple, they almost feel too easy to matter. But they matter more than you think. The 1-degree shift. Let's start with this. If a plane takes off from Los Angeles heading to New York and its nose is just 1 degree off course, do you know where it ends up? Not New York. It lands hundreds of miles away, somewhere completely different. That's the power of a small shift. One tiny change in direction, one small habit, one different choice, one new thought can completely change where your life is heading. You don't need a life makeover, you need a life adjustment. Why small is big? Most people wait for a big moment, a breakthrough, a miracle. But real change, it doesn't come from what you do once. It comes from what you do daily. Think about it. Drinking 1 glass of water instead of soda won't change your health, but doing it for 30 days will. Writing down 1 goal might not change your mindset, but doing it every morning will. Saying 1 kind thing to yourself won't erase years of doubt, but repeating that kindness every day will. Small doesn't mean weak. Small means sustainable, and sustainable change always wins. The invisible power of habits. Here's the thing about small habits. At first, they don't feel powerful. You don't see instant results, no applause, no big transformation. But that's why most people quit, because they don't understand what's happening underneath. Small shifts work like compound interest. They build, slowly, silently, and then, one day, they explode. You don't see the growth happening, but it is. Just like a seed under the ground, it pushes, breaks, stretches, and then one day, it breaks through the surface. Not because of one big push, but because of quiet, daily effort. That's how life works. A shift in thinking is the first step. Let's get real. Most people don't need more motivation. They need to change the way they think about change. Instead of, how can I change my whole life? Ask, what's one small thing I can shift today? 1 thought, 1 word, 1 action? Maybe it's waking up 10 minutes earlier. Maybe it's replacing 1 complaint with 1 solution. Maybe it's spending 5 minutes reading instead of scrolling. That's how it starts. Because when your thinking shifts, your energy shifts. When your energy shifts, your habits shift. And when your habits shift, your results shift. Real life example, the domino effect. Let me tell you something interesting. A small domino, just 2 inches tall, can knock over a domino 50% bigger than itself. If you line them up right, the 23rd domino can knock over a skyscraper. Your daily habits are the same. That tiny choice to do the right thing today, that's your first domino. You drink water instead of soda. You write for 5 minutes. You say no to gossip. And that one domino pushes the next, and the next. Soon, your life starts moving, and what looked impossible becomes your new normal. Part 6. The world won't notice, but you will. Don't wait for applause. The world may not notice your small shifts, but you will. You'll feel more clear, more strong, more in control. You'll feel proud, not because everything changed overnight, but because you changed. And in the end, that's what matters most. Your success isn't about the big things everyone sees. It's about the small things only you know. The tiny wins, the quiet efforts, the silent courage to keep going. Call to power. So here's what I want you to do today. Don't wait for a miracle. Become the miracle through small shifts. Shift the way you speak to yourself. Shift how you show up when no one's watching. Shift what you believe is possible. One small shift, repeated daily, changes everything. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to move fast. You just have to start and never stop. Before you ever become successful, before you ever become confident, strong, or unstoppable, you become it first in your mind. Everything you want starts with one thing, a new picture of who you are. Let me explain. The power of inner identity. Have you ever wondered why some people change their lives completely, while others stay stuck, even when they try really hard? It's not because they're smarter. It's not because they're luckier. It's because deep down, they believe something different about themselves. They've created a new image of who they are, and they live from that image. If you see yourself as weak, even if you try to act strong, you'll fall back into weakness. If you see yourself as a failure, even if you succeed for a moment, you'll self-sabotage. That's why nothing sticks, because the mindset didn't change. You have to become the new person in your mind first. That's where it all begins. You are always becoming, even if you don't realize it. Here's the truth most people miss. You are always becoming someone, whether you mean to or not. Every thought you think, every word you say, every belief you accept, it's shaping you. You don't just wake up one day, successful, happy, or strong. You grow into that person, day by day, in your mind first. So let me ask you, who are you becoming right now? Not based on your goals, but based on your daily thoughts. Because if you want to become someone new, you have to think like that person first. The mental movie trick. Let me give you a powerful tool. It's something successful people use all the time without even realizing it. It's what I call the mental movie. Close your eyes and imagine this. You're living the life you want. You're walking with confidence, speaking with purpose, earning with power, loving with freedom. What do you look like? How do you walk? What choices do you make? Hold that picture, not for 5 seconds, not for one day, but every single day. Because your mind doesn't know the difference between what's real and what's repeated. If you feed your mind a new identity every day, soon it becomes your new reality. Speak what you want to become. Words are powerful. Every time you say, I'm tired, I'm broke, I'm not good enough, you're not just describing your life. You're creating it. You speak yourself into your future. Want to become someone new? Start speaking like that person, even if it feels weird at first, even if your current life doesn't match your words. Say things like, I'm becoming stronger every day. I am learning. I am growing. I am ready. I don't have all the answers yet, but I'm on my way. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to start sounding like the future you, because the more you speak it, the more you believe it, and the more you believe it, the more it becomes true. Act as if, even when you don't feel ready. Here's a mindset shift. Don't wait until you feel like the person you want to become. Act as if you already are that person. Want to be confident? Speak up, even if your voice shakes. Want to be focused? Turn off the distractions, even if it's hard. Want to be successful? Start showing up early. Start being prepared. Start doing the work, even if no one's watching. It's not faking it. It's training your mind to believe. Every time you act like the person you want to be, you're sending a signal to your brain. This is who I am now. And eventually, your brain catches up. Your emotions catch up. Your life catches up. Don't wait. Decide now who you are. Most people wait. They wait for the right time. They wait to feel motivated. They wait for proof that they can do it. But here's the truth. You don't become someone new because of what happens around you. You become someone new because of what you decide within you. Decide who you want to be. and start living from that decision now. Because if you don't choose your identity, the world will choose it for you. And the world will tell you you're not enough, that you can't change, that you're too late, too broken, too far gone. But they don't know what's inside you. They don't know what you're capable of, and you don't need their permission. You just need one thing, a new belief about who you are. Final closing, call to action. You don't have to wait for a new year. You don't need to wait for a big moment. You can start today, right now, by seeing yourself differently, by speaking differently, by thinking differently. Because when you change your inner world, your outer world follows. So become the person you want to be, in your mind first. Let's be honest, life isn't always smooth. Some days, it feels like everything is against you. You try to stay positive, but doubt creeps in. You try to move forward, but fear holds you back. You try to believe in yourself, but the voice in your head keeps saying, "You're not enough." Sound familiar? That's because you're in a fight, not with the world, not with other people, but with yourself. And I want to tell you something most people won't. You can win this fight. The invisible battle. We all face, no one talks about it, but almost everyone goes through it. That quiet war inside your mind. The one where you're smiling on the outside, but struggling on the inside. Where you wake up tired, not from work, but from thinking too much. Where you scroll on your phone, not for fun, but to escape your thoughts. Where you want to chase your dreams, but you're afraid to fail. Again, this isn't weakness. It's a battle, a real one, and you are not alone. You've been stronger than you realize you've fought before. Think about everything you've already overcome. Times you were heartbroken but kept going. Days you had nothing left but still showed up. Moments when fear told you to quit, but you didn't. You've already survived 100% of your worst days. Don't forget that. You're not starting from scratch. You're starting from strength. You may feel tired, but you're not finished. You may feel scared, but you're not stuck. You've fought battles in silence and still made it here. That means you can do it again. The fight looks different for everyone. Here's what they don't tell you. Fighting doesn't always look like swinging your fists. Sometimes it looks like getting out of bed when you don't want to. Sometimes it's saying no to the old habits trying to drag you back. Sometimes it's showing up, even when no one claps for you. Your fight might not be loud. It might not be pretty. But it matters. Because every time you push forward, every time you don't give up, you're building strength no one can see. But you can feel it. Doubt is loud, but it's not always right. That voice in your head that says, "You can't do it. You're not good enough. You'll never be more than this." It's loud. It's convincing. But it's not always telling the truth. Doubt is just fear wearing a mask. It's your past trying to hold your future hostage. But here's something powerful. You don't have to believe every thought you think. You can challenge it. You can say, "Maybe I can do this." You can say, "I am changing." You can say, "I'm not who I was. I'm becoming someone new." Because you are. Right now. How to fight back. One thought at a time. You win this fight in small moments, not all at once, but thought by thought, action by action. Here's how. When the voice says, "You're failing," you say, "I'm learning." When it says, "You're stuck," you say, "I'm growing." When it says, "You can't change," you say, "Watch me." Speak life, even when you don't feel it. Act strong, even when you feel weak. Move forward, even if it's just a small step. Because every step counts. Every new thought is a weapon. Every time you keep going, you are winning. The victory is already in you. Let me ask you something. What if you're not fighting to become strong, but fighting to remember that you already are? What if this whole time the real battle wasn't about getting power? It was about not giving it away. You were born with courage. You were built for challenges. You were made to rise. This fight you're in, it's not the end of your story. It's the middle. And the best chapters are still being written. You don't have to have all the answers today. You just have to believe this one truth. It's a fight. But you can win. Not later. Not someday. Now closing, call to action. If this message hits home, if you've been battling quietly, if you're still standing, even when it's hard, then you're not losing. You're still in the fight, and you're still capable of winning. Keep going. Because on the other side of this fight is the stronger, better, braver version of you. And trust me, that version is worth fighting for.